Hello everybody, thank you Remco for the introduction. This initially should have been a session with a different format, so I was also supposed to perform, but due to, let's say, local organization hiccups, will be a more traditional presentation. Also yesterday night I performed my music at Yuri's night, so I have a 3-hour sleep. Hence, forgive my English being more Italian than usual. So, Remco touched the main points of what I do. And today I will give you a brief overview about the concept of space art, and particularly music from space. And I will provide also a glimpse of 2 previous missions where I participated both as aerospace engineer and a musician, and where my music was streamed from the International Space Station. Plus, I will give a very little preview of new music that soon is going back to space. So, I am both a professional pianist and aerospace engineer. I specify professional because all my life people ask, so you do music for hobby? No. I can say that despite being a senior lecturer, doing research, having a PhD, in case I say no, I do aerospace engineering as a hobby. So basically, I did the academic path in parallel with both, with also several challenges in having many episodes in my life in the same day, on the same week, both important things regarding music and science, which is beautiful, but also very challenging. Currently, I'm based in Malta and represent the Malta College of Arts, Science and Technology, where my research core is about space debris, and I'm also carrying activities regarding space art. So here the main concept, so from my PR point of view, the main concept is an experiment is going on board the International Space Station. With it, there is music. This music is streamed back to Earth. What I am discovering, working more and more to this big project of mine, Music from Space, is that it's a way, a catalyst, to bring together more and more polymaths, multi-talented people. And I'm really loving it, above all when I meet people younger than me, because, at least based on my personal experience, all my life, people told me, you have to choose, you have to decide, you can't do good both. I like to prove people wrong, so I do in an excellent way both. And I can proudly say that I have proof to back my statement. So, just to give you an idea, it's not that I woke up one day and I'm the first one thinking about having music in space. The very, very first example, if I remember correctly, was mission Gemini 4, probably, 1965, where during Christmas, they played on board the Jingle Bells. One example I want to mention is 1988 with Jean-Luc Chrétien, that on board the old, now Russian space station Mir, he brought on board a very, very small Yamaha keyboard that stayed in space like 7 months. So this is a very nice historical example to lead my talk where I want to lead it. And much, much more recently, we have a beautiful example with Sarah Gillis, aerospace engineer for SpaceX, violinist, and a very good one, and astronaut for the Polaris Dawn mission, that during the mission that ended a few weeks ago, she also did a performance in collaboration with orchestras spread all around the globe, also proving the power of the Starlink constellation, and showing an amazing feat of what can be the good side of us as human beings. Now, my target is to do more or less like she did, but I chose an instrument which is much bigger, much heavier, but is doable. And being an aerospace engineer also helps because I want to convince Stan Winston that for pianos is like to say Ferrari, to develop a piano that can be suitable for space travel. So now let's go to the first opportunity, not in reality the very first. So the first time I linked as aerospace engineer my music with a project was with an experiment, Scrat experiment, which was in 2010, where I composed the jingle that I did many variations of it. I would have played it for you today, but we don't have a piano. And that was an experiment that developed for a stratospheric flight. Now, so being at the very doorstep of space. Now, with Maleth in 2022, so 2 years ago, I took part to a mission called Maleth 2, because it was a series of 3 missions, led by Professor Joyce Bodge of the University of Malta. That basically was a bioscience experiment. With this experiment, was the first time that my music reached the International Space Station. There was a streaming event that was online in a virtual room. But for the first time, there was something premiered from the International Space Station. And this, in terms of outreach and activities, opened the doors much bigger than simply, let's say, the streaming stunt. So this was the first experiment for me as fully being the space pianist. And here you can see the artwork developed by a visual artist, Chiara Rovoletto. I'm collaborating with her since many years, and she will reappear, her work will reappear also very soon. Last year, quoting Britney Spears that was covered yesterday evening by another artist, oops, I did it again, with, again, Maleth 3, with a composition 0. In this case, I also had the opportunity to take part to the qualification tests for the experiment. Also, the experiment was handled by astronaut Sultana Neyadi, that I don't know if he's here, but was here at IAC. I met him. And this started to open up the possibilities of projects like this in terms of getting the interest from students, other professionals, and other artists. And I also started to understand that there is much more interest than what I was supposing, because, you know, okay, now here we are at a space conference, but usually when we speak about space with people, besides going towards the nerdy stuff, the general feedback can be like, wow, but it ends up there. Using music as catalyst, I saw happening what I was hoping. So a language that I don't, so first of all, as a musician, I don't believe that music is a universal language, as many times you hear. It's a powerful language that is based on our background, on our where we grew up in the world, the period, our experiences. But for sure, it's a powerful language that helps to bring together not only space enthusiasts, but also space professionals from different fields. And 0 helped me to go towards this direction. And here is the artwork developed by another artist that I love, very eclectic and polyedric, that is Anna Utopia Giordano. Now, with this, the streaming event was organized even bigger, having in the same virtual room people from Space Application Services that provide the service to bring the experiment on board. I had the opportunity to present much more than Maleth this at different conferences, public talks, events also with Italian embassy. So I started to see that it is possible to develop this in an organic and intellectually honest way. And I saw that the feedback of people is really heartwarming. And this leads to what, for me, at the moment, is the crown jewel of what I'm doing. So now I'm the project leader of the mission ASTROBEAT, and is a collaboration developed between MCAS, which I represent, Southeast Technological University, SkyUp Academy, and New York University in Abu Dhabi. So, from a technical point of view, this experiment is trying to do for the very first time something that is related to the repairing of a spacecraft. So, you know, in space that one big problem are space debris, and above all, the impacts. So in order to have a more sustainable use of space in terms of allowing longer mission durations, allowing deeper space missions, above all with humans inside, you want to be able to repair a hull that got perforated. So what we are testing for the first time, this is a technological demonstrator that now I will show you this video done in collaboration with SkyUp Academy. We want to test cold welding adhesion that, let's say, between commas happens at room temperature, that in space with microgravity and vacuum happens at very low forces in comparison with what happens on the ground. And basically here there is a male and female pin that, thanks to spring-loaded mechanism, there will be a force provided, and basically the whole of the washer will be closed by this female pin. So for now, it's a technological demonstrator, and the next step is we want to develop a sort of tool that can be used by astronauts. Here are some photos from the functional test in Houston. I put this photo, first of all, because it's very cool and I like it. Second, because since I was at Johnson Space Center to follow together with a team of Nanolab, that now is called Voyager Space, the functional test, being there with Saturn V, there is also Falcon 9. So seeing the golden era of space age and breathing this new space era gave me really a lot of motivation. I mentioned in all of this the collaboration with NYU Abu Dhabi, where with Professor Andrea Machado, which is the director of the Center of Astrophysics and Space Science, they entered in the second part of the project and they are supporting the project. And this is, from an educational point of view, something very beautiful. NYU Abu Dhabi is supporting not only the scientific part, but also the artistic part, above all my part, so the part of space music. And now I will show you how. And with this mission, there will be not one, but two compositions of mine, plus other three that I will explain very soon. And this is the artwork, also this one done by Chiara Rovolette, about moon seeds, where I managed, and I'm super proud of this, to expand the collaboration with two great musicians. Tina Guo, world-known Grammy-nominated cellist, and also another top-of-class musician and producer, Steve Mazzaro. They are very well known also because we are collaborating since now several years with someone that for sure you know, Hans Zimmer. So Interstellar, Dune, Inception, and having their support and also their experience coming also applied to cinematic soundtracks for science fiction movies to a real science space experiment has been amazing. And the composition Moon Seeds gets its inspiration from an adventure that started before I was born, with Apollo 14 and the astronaut that in 1971 brought seeds with them in their trip to the moon. These seeds came back and they were able to germinate, giving birth to beautiful sycamore trees. And now there is the second generation of these seeds that is planned to go back to the moon with the Artemis mission. So it is, in my opinion, very, very poetic and very, very also so artistic, but also is emerged with science, because also pushing to become a multiplanetary species, and in any case, to longer mission in space, we need this type of studies more and more. And thinking that how pioneeristic was already with Apollo 14, for me, is mind-blowing. Together with this, there has been the recording session at NYU Abu Dhabi in their amazing facilities, and also I recorded the video clip that will be published after the stream with Tina Guo in Los Angeles. Now, together with this, there has been also the organization of a space music contest for all the students of NYU Abu Dhabi. And it was amazing for me because there I discovered several, so not like one, two, several polymaths. Students studying physics and maybe opera singing, studying law and piano. And we got several submissions. And it was also very hard in the jury with, this was done in collaboration with a professor, Professor Carlos Guedes, and Professor Matteo Marciano. We had in the commission also Tina Guo and Steve Mazzaro. It was very hard to choose the winners to get the spot. In fact, instead of one, we chose two compositions. And besides that, there will be also a composition of Professor Carlos Guedes, which is a composer teaching there at NYU. So here is the artwork by Chiara Rovoletto. And the second composition that fully recorded in Abu Dhabi is something more experimental, where with the piano I experiment a bit with some unusual way of playing it, and is called Black Sun, where I took the sound from the vibrations of interstellar gas recorded by NASA, and I implemented it as a sort of path of sound layers with the music part. Plus, there is an Easter egg where at the very end of this composition that I would have loved to make you listen today, there is also the sonification of the logo of ASTROBEAT. So if a person that is a super nerdy like me takes the spectrogram of the audio signal, at the very end of this composition, you can get the logo of the project. And here, also here, there is an experimental artwork done by a space artist, Arise One, that created the artwork for Black Sun. And here, going to close to wrap up my talk, you can see when I was at the recording studio at NYU Abu Dhabi, here with Professor Carlos Guedes for the part of the Space Music Contest, and Matteo Marciano leading the team of Gazillion Records, which is a record label coordinated with students. And here you can see where we did the recordings last April, and also that was an amazing experience, and for me, and also an amazing experience for the students that had the possibility to do something totally different from usual. Now, here, I didn't update the slide because I was very, very busy in these days. Target launch date was 30th of November. Now seems to will be the 1st of November, but we still don't know if there will be further delays. The experiment will be on board the International Space Station for 1 month. There will be first the part of the scientific part. So we will run our experiment actuating the different chambers. And after there will be 2 streaming events, one with Tina Guo and Steve Mazzaro, and the other one for the New York University Abu Dhabi part. And today, not sure if the audio is connected, but, so, first of all, I could have showed you the videos and the music, but the one already published, you can find it easily online and also listen to it properly. Second, as I said, I was supposed to perform, so this is just a glimpse of Moonseeds recorded with Tina Guo. Not sure if the audio is connected, but let's see if the video, yes. So you got, before everyone else, because this is still not online, a teaser of what is Moonseeds. And here you see the super cool mission patch for the mission SpaceX CRS-31. The space community in reality is big, but it's a small world. You couldn't listen to me performing today, but my next concert is a big one, next 6th November, at NYU Arts Center. So I will be presenting my project, Music from Space. And here I know there are people from all around the world. So in case some of you, for some reasons, is in Abu Dhabi, you are super welcome to join. And final remark, it is, if you are interested in this journey, so which is not only my journey, but, and now I'm super happy I finally started managing to expand it, to involve different musicians, students, different professors also. You can find the Space Pianist basically on all social media platforms, my music, Spotify, and everywhere. Plus, I released this last year. You can find it on Amazon. Is Music from Space, and it has for who is a musician, both the notes, the music score of Maleth and Zero, plus an extra jolly surprise, and a bit of a description of the two missions. So these are the first two steps. I will see with Moonseeds and Black Sun if there will be a follow-up. So, despite the lack of practical music in a practical session, I hope you enjoyed the presentation. That's all I have for today, and the questions are very welcome. Thank you very much.